Hey everyone, welcome back to GoneDrivin. For this week's video, I've got my hands on the 2022 newly redesigned BMW 2 Series. We'll be going over the exterior, the interior, and then going for a quick drive. If you like this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. BMW describes their cars as the ultimate driving machine, particularly seen with their M lineup of cars. You've got the M3, the M4, the M8, and the list goes on. But what if I told you there is a model that actually replicates that ultimate driving machine gene and accentuates it in a more affordable manner? First launched in 2014, BMW unveiled their cheapest entry-level two-door coupe, the 2 Series, to capture a younger and an eager market. Initially, the 2 Series model was met with some hesitations and skepticism, but it grew on people, and once they revealed the M2, it was game over for any of their small two-door performance coupes. But then, in 2021, BMW announced that they were unveiling a brand new generation of the 2 Series with a complete redesign from top to bottom. Was it a necessary redesign? Yes, very much so. Will it make a difference? Well, let's find out. The 2022 BMW 2 Series was completely redesigned for the 2022 model year, and I gotta say, from the front, the back, and the interior, it's all suiting me quite a bit. And also, this video would not be possible without the help of Parkview BMW, specifically Denver Kudo at Parkview BMW. If you're in the market for a brand new BMW in the Toronto or Greater Toronto area, make sure you hit up Denver Kudo. I'll leave his information down in the description below. The car that I'm reviewing today is the M240i, the more powerful, the beefier engine 2 Series in the 2 Series lineup. And we're gonna take it out on the road for a little test drive shortly, but let's just go on the outside, the interior, and some of the other features about the car. The new 2 Series comes in two engine modes, the 230i and the M240i. We're reviewing the latter, and this is the M240i with the 6-cylinder engine that puts out 382 horsepower, and with all-wheel drive, this car is not slow whatsoever. With the complete redesign of the 2 Series, we're going to look at the front here. So the BMW engineers completely redesigned the grille, the lights, and the bottom bumper here. With the grille here, thankfully, they didn't mess it up like the 3 or the 4 Series. These are active grills, so what this means is that they open up and close depending on how much cooling the car needs. And the bottom here, we've got these triangular or trapezoid-shaped vents. Again, this is explicit to the M240i, but the 230i is very similar as well. And then we've got these headlights here with the LED little strip. I think the front of the car just overall looks phenomenal. From the side of the car, I love how beefier and masculine this car really looks. They've got these bigger fenders here in the back, and the wheelbase of this 2 Series is actually 2 inches longer than the previous generation. And explicit to the M240i, or the M series of this car, you get the M badging, you get the M Sport brakes, and you get the 19-inch upgraded rims. One thing I did notice that was a little peculiar in the 2 Series was that they have these flip-up handles to open the door. I'm not really sure why. It's a little bit of a backward step, in my opinion, but it's a cool little touch. Now from the back, the 2 Series is personally not my favorite. I really feel like they rushed the back end design of this. I mean, the front is just so gorgeous, and in the back, I don't like how the whole rear bumper just looks like it was squished up a little bit. Starting off with the taillights here, you can see they're really nice. They're LED strip here with the reverse lamps here, but I just think that it doesn't suit the car whatsoever. And then on the bottom here, we've got this rear bumper. Again, this is part of the M240i. You get these big oval shaped exhausts. One of them is functional, one of them is not. It sounds really nice, which we'll hear in a little bit. And then we've got the xDrive here. So as I mentioned earlier, the M240i has an all-wheel drive, and then the 230i has a rear-wheel drive. They're saying that later on next year, both cars should have both of the drive systems, but for now, this is what we have. And over here, we've got the M240i badging. I love how it's finished in this gray/gold color. And then looking at the trunk, this is a 2-door coupe, so you shouldn't expect a whole lot of storage space, but nonetheless, it's a pretty decent size. I would say you could put in 2 full-size suitcases at max, maybe a couple of groceries, and that's about it. Sitting inside the 2 Series now, as soon as you get in, it looks very identical to the 3 and the 4 Series. You've got this steering wheel here, which is exactly taken from the 3 Series, the same exact controls in terms of, you know, your cruise control, your music. You've got the M badge here, the heated steering button right over here, same exact paddle shifters. Even the feeling of it is exact same. And then you've got the optional 12.3-inch gauge cluster. This can also be optioned with the heads-up display. So standard, the car comes with analog gauges, and you can option them with the digital. And on the side door here, I love how with the 2 Series, this is very unique to the 2 Series. You've got this handlebar here. I didn't notice this in the 3 or the 4, but the door handle here is exact same from the 3 Series. And you've got this multi-functioning light panel here, if you want to call it that. This will change into red when you open the door, warning other people or other bikers that are on the road that your door is open. And then looking at the infotainment screen, this car comes with the optional 10.3-inch screen, but the regular 2 Series standard will come with an 8-inch touchscreen. Very responsive, very easy to use. It's the iDrive 7, which has been currently in the 3 and the 4. I'm excited to see what BMW does with the next iDrive system as seen in electric cars. And then moving on down here, we've got the climate control section. So this is just where you'll see your temperatures. These are all the climate control buttons and all the functionalities for them. I love how premium these buttons are here to control open or close the vents. And then moving on to the center console area, we've got the entertainment and the volume control area here. And I gotta say, thank God for BMW for still leaving the volume control knob, because so many cars are phasing it out. I'm not sure why. And moving on down here, you've got the gear shift here, which kind of resembles like a joystick. You've got your start, engine, stop. You've got your traction control, your park assist, and your auto engine mode. And then you've also got the 3 modes that this car comes with, the Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. I gotta say, if you're getting the M240i, make sure you drive the Sport or Sport Plus. And we've got auto hold here, which in my opinion is one of my favorite features in a BMW. I love that in a stop and go traffic. It's the best thing you could have. And then we've got this rotary knob here that controls the infotainment screen. Again, very responsive, very easy to use, very premium material here. I love how this material feels really good and just really top-notch quality. Then you've got your electronic handbrake right over here. It's a bit of a bummer that they don't include the original handbrakes anymore, but nonetheless, it's still right here, very easy to access. And also with the M240i and the 2 Series in general, they only come in an 8-speed automatic transmission. So that means that manual transmission has been completely scrapped for the 2 Series. And in the armrest area here, it's a pretty big space for, to put your keys, a couple of water bottles, whatever you need. You've got the USB-C charger here, which means that BMW is already ahead of its generation. And then you've got this very, very notorious, famous thing really in the BMW cars. It's the digital key, so you can put this into your iPhone if you have one, and you can essentially unlock your car with your phone. No need for a key anymore. And for the cups here, you've got 2 cup holders right over here. Again, they could probably fit in medium-sized cups. And to my knowledge, these are not cooled or heated like the X5 does, but this is a entry-level coupe, so some of these features that you see in the X5 or the other premium BMW models you might not see in the 2 Series. You've also got the charging mat right over there, which again, I'm so glad they brought back, because I think in the 4 Series they discontinued it for a little while. I think it's due to some supply chain issue, but I'm glad that it's back into this car. And some of the other honorable mentions to the features of this car include a park distronic system for the front and rear. This is a standard feature, blind spot monitoring system, and you've got your parallel and perpendicular parking systems that are again optional but available in this car. And you've got your cruise control here. This isn't adaptive cruise control to my knowledge, it's just regular cruise control. And you've got your garage door openers right over here. And another nice thing, it's a sweet touch from BMW, is that this sunroof cover here, it opens up automatically as opposed to the old car, which was a manual opening and closing sunshade. And now with the exterior and the interior features out of the way, I think it's time that we take the M240i out for a spin, because I gotta say, it is supposed to be very, very fun to drive, and it sounds just amazing. Let's start it up right now. Should we give it a little rev? I think we should give it a little rev. Alright, so currently driving the M240i, and there's a lot of burbles and pops as you can hear from the back. We'll do a quick little, we'll Florida here a little bit. This car is super, super quick. I think that all-wheel drive really pushes it off the line so fast, and those pops and burbles in the back, this car is just amazing. Wow, those sounds and this handling, just phenomenal. Sitting at a stoplight here, I mean, it's pretty quiet. And I think part of the reason why we're hearing so many of those burbles and pops is because there's a lot of pumped in audio from the exhaust. BMW is notorious for that, we all know that, but when you're sitting at a stoplight, it's very quiet. Again, this is right now in Sport Plus mode. We'll put it into comfort, and the exhaust valves quiet down a little bit more. So I'm just taking this turn here. I'm going to floor it again a little bit, and think it's the xDrive that's helping that, but I don't think I've been in a car that handles this well in a very long time. And if you're debating or contemplating between getting the 230 or the 240, you have to get the M240i. There's just so many more performance-based benefits to this car. You get the upgraded brakes, you get rear controlled differentials, you get a adaptive suspension, which again is an optional feature, but you can spec that out in this car, and I think you should really get it because even though the ride overall in this car is pretty comfy, the adaptive suspension just makes that extra, makes the ride a lot comfier and a lot adaptive. If I floor it in Eco Pro mode, the burbles and all the throttle responsiveness just goes away. I mean, I'll floor it here. I floored it and there was a solid delay before we could actually get going. Whereas in Sport Plus mode, that wasn't the case. As soon as I pressed my throttle, as soon as I put my foot on the throttle, this car was just gone. Alright, so I'm currently in manual mode with Sport Plus on in this car, and that 8-speed automatic is extremely responsive, I cannot lie. It is probably one of the best transmissions that BMW has created. You see that in the 340, that 440, and just phenomenal. Alright, so we're going to launch control this car, because from what I've heard, it's supposed to launch off 0 to 100 in 4.1 seconds. So we'll see if it lives up to that hype. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're going to try that one more time. That all-wheel drive launch is just phenomenal. There was a bit of a discrepancy there, but not to worry. This car launches off the line so well. In terms of the overall driving experience, the interior is pretty much similar to the 4 Series that I reviewed earlier on. You know, we've got the digital gauge cluster, same infotainment screen that I was talking about earlier, very responsive, very easy to use. They essentially carried over all of that into this new 2 Series, and it's phenomenal. It works great. Very easy to use. And for some reason, I think in this digital gauge cluster here, they made the navigation area a little bit bigger. I might be mistaken, but it just looks bigger. It looks a little bit better. So they might have made a couple of adjustments from the 4 Series for this one. But again, no complaints whatsoever. And with that, my video on the BMW M240i comes to a conclusion. If you like watching this week's video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, if you have Instagram, be sure to follow us on there at GoneDrivin. Besides that, take care, and I'll see you guys next time with a brand new video.